Hey everybody, this is Clayton's Great here, and I got a video for you today. Okay, so this controller, this is a ps4 controller, DualShock 4. This controller is a controller that I want to use for my ps4, but the thing is, it won't charge or anything. It'll get to 2 bars and then it'll stop charging. The light won't stay on and everything like that. Like right now it's working fine, but it will stop working. And then I have another controller here, just all black, normal controller that works fine. I've tried replacing the battery. I've got a new battery and put it in here, and then everything like that. So it's not the battery. It's something wrong with this controller. So there's nothing wrong with this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take everything out of this controller, the motherboard, everything, and I'm gonna put it into this controller. And then I'm pretty sure if I take everything out the working controller and replace it with this one, this controller will work, and then this one won't work. So that's what this video is today, show you how to do that. So there's going to be 4 screws, one right here, one right here, one there, and one there that you got to take out, and both controllers. And this is just if you got a controller you want to use that won't work, and you want it to work. It's actually not as hard as you would think it would be. Alright, so I got all the screws out of each controller. Now, to open the controller up, all you do is you push down on both sides of the controller right here, where you see the little crease at. You push down on it on both sides, and then you push a little bit more, and then I like to flip it over, and then because it's a lot of clips and they're on there really tight. Alright, there we go. So I got the controller apart. So you're going to want to disconnect the cable. There's going to be this cable connected. Disconnect that cable. Alright. Remember, this all black controller is the working controller. Here's all the parts. Push that out. Put that back on over here. Right now, I'm recording this video with my Galaxy Note 4 front face camera. So hopefully it uploads right. It's the first video of me doing this on this camera. So then you disconnect the battery. Here's the battery. And then this part, this is the little tray for your where your battery sits. It's a little tray. And you want to go ahead and pull that out. And I tried resetting it and everything, the controller, it just doesn't work. But this one that I'm taking apart works perfect. So you would think that after I go ahead and take this one apart, well, once I could actually get alright, there's going to be another little thing you got to disconnect right there. Got to pull that out from the motherboard. Now remember, this is the working controller. The working controller's motherboard. And then you want to go ahead and unscrew this here. There's going to be one little screw in the motherboard. Go ahead and disconnect that. Okay, now you should be able to get out the entire thing. Should just come out now. Alright, there you go. This is the entire motherboard and everything. The entire PC. This is how it look once you get that out of there. Now, all your buttons and stuff up there, you won't need that. You could just use the same ones from this side. Like, you don't have to take out the buttons or anything. Alright, so I'm going to set that off to the side. And this is what we're going to be putting in this controller. So now, you want to do the same thing with the controller that you want to use, which is this one here. So go ahead and, yeah, oh, I don't have all the screws out this one. Alright, there we go. Now that's going to click. That'll click. Go ahead and just, and then that's going to be that part that comes out. As you can see, the button popped off there too, but these buttons are easy to put on. Just make sure there's going to be this little piece right here. If the button does come off, just make sure you take this and you put it back on there. Just put it on the little round part right there, and then take your button and hold on a second. I actually dropped the part somewhere. Alright, found it. Okay, so anyways, take the little silver part that I just showed you, little springy little part. Really, I found that the controller still works without that part being in there, but it's best to just have it in there because it'll make your button springy. And it's kind of hard to put back in, so be careful when you put it in because it might come back out. Okay, 1 second. Okay, there we go. And then it should just, there we go. See, now it's springy. Alright, so now here's the stuff in this controller that doesn't work. You're going to want to do what you did in the other controller, take out the battery. There's literally nothing wrong with the batteries. It is the actual, I guess, motherboard in this. So then you want to go ahead and take off this battery pack holder on that one. And then again, you want to take out the screw here. There's going to be one screw holding the whole motherboard together. Alright, so then you could go ahead and take out that whole assembly. Oh wait, 1 second, I'm sorry, I forgot to remember, before you pull it out, there's that ribbon connected to the motherboard that you got to take out. Alright, so now I got the ribbon out and the whole assembly should just pop right on out of there. Okay, so here's the non-working controller. So I'm not absolutely sure if this is going to work, but if you think about it, it should work because you're taking out the entire chipset, the entire motherboard, everything, and you're putting the one that you know that works in. So as you can see, this one's made like this, and this one's made a little different, but it's blue. This is blue instead of green, but it really doesn't matter. So now you can go ahead and put this back. You can put this is the one that works. Now you can put the one that works inside of this here. Okay. Just make sure everything's good. Huh, okay. There's actually a little piece missing. See this piece this is the non-working one. This is the non-working one, the green. See that little white part right there? There is no little white part on this one. That's interesting. I wonder if there's supposed to be a white part on that one. Well, I'm going to just take it off the one that don't work. And I'm going to put it on the one that does work. That's pretty interesting. Wonder if that could, I mean, that shouldn't have anything to do with why it wouldn't work, though. So, as you can see, somebody's been in that controller before. If that part was out like that. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this can go on here. Oh, okay, so... Oh, this one's just made different. Okay. So this one doesn't supposed to have one of those. Okay, so this is the one that works. And this is the controller you want to use. So go ahead and take the one that you know works and go ahead and slide that one into your working controller, or into the controller that didn't work before. Alright. It should fit, because you know it's the same controller. It should fit in there. Right now it's not fitting in there, so I might have to do it the hard way. This is interesting. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. I see what's going on here. It does fit. The only thing is, it's these. It won't fit in the little holes for one reason or another, but I'm going to get it in there. Just push it through. Hey, I'm going to pause the video and check this out really quick, and then I'll be back. Okay, guys. I figured it out. I'm back, and I'm going to show you something. I actually got rid of the part because it's really highly unnecessary anyway. There's a part here. See that part? It was blocking it from putting the chip on. See this part here? That part is on the opposite side in this particular controller. So what I did was I cut it off on this controller. I cut it off, and on this one you can see where I cut it at. It's short now instead of long like that. And the only thing I believe that was for was to screw the motherboard in. I think that was the one screw for the motherboard. Really, you don't need that, because when you put the whole controller back together, it'll be just fine. So let's see if it goes on now. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know if I need to cut more down than that, but it won't do anything to your controller. Hey, this is still better than going out and buying a whole new controller. Okay, so here's the blue one that wouldn't go in before. Alright. So it looks like it actually went in. but there looks like there may be something else wrong. I gotta check it again. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. And hopefully for the last time I won't pause it anymore. Okay, so I figured it out. Yeah, this is still better than going out there and getting a whole nother controller. So, okay, on this one, what I had to do, wait 1 second. Okay, so I melted these two little circle things off of this one. So right here, and right there were two tall circle pieces that was causing this not to go down onto the controller. So I went and I melted them off, and on the one that doesn't work, this controller, it doesn't even have that at all. Doesn't even have that. Okay, so now everything should be fine, and we should be able to get this part in here finally. Okay, I think I worked out the kinks, and it's still better than getting another controller when you can have, you know, right here. Bango, look, there it is. It's in there now. It went in. But now the only thing is the motherboard. You can't screw it down if it's this type of controller. But you know what? Really doesn't matter, because let me show you something. After you get this part on, go ahead and connect the little ribbon cable into that. See, at least all the other parts are still in the same area, like the connections. It just had extra little stuff for whatever reason. Really, in my opinion, there was no reason for any of those little spots that I had to melt off and stuff like that. Okay, so now you can go ahead and put this part here back on. But which part was it? Okay, this one. Okay, this, you can go ahead and connect this ribbon into the side. Connect that ribbon into the side right here. And then go ahead and do that. Okay, hold on a second. It's kind of tricky to get in. Alright, so I got it in there. Now you should have something that's similar to this. After that, you can go ahead and grab your battery holder and go ahead and connect that. Hold on a second, let me get a better angle. Okay, go ahead and connect your battery back on there, right on. And then see, this is the screw that goes in that little hole. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure that's where you were supposed to screw in the motherboard, the part that I melted off, because it was on the whole opposite side, and that was causing the controller not to go together. But I'm about to see what happens if I try to put, yeah, that's what that was for. So don't worry about that part. Grab your battery and connect your battery in to the controller, and see it's coming back together. And the thing is, you really don't need the motherboard screwed in, because after you connect the controller back on, after you get the controller all put back together, you got to screw those 4 screws in, and then everything will be fine. Because this is going to push down the motherboard and everything else. See? And all the buttons work. Hold on a second. I gotta take it back apart because my touchpad for the mouse, everything else is fine, but the touchpad for the mouse will not click, and I have to find out why. Okay, so let me go in there and check that out. And now you can just pull out the, oh no, you can't. I'm gonna pause it one more time. Alright, back again. So I figured out something. These 2 mouse pads are made differently. So grab your mouse pad out the other controller, out the working controller, and then when you put it on there, it actually clicked. I'm sorry guys for all this. This is just my first time doing anything like this. And so now, now it's going to go on right. Now you just put your one out the other controller, take the mouse pad from the other controller. Here we go again. This is definitely the last time because everything else was incorrectly and all of that. So just go ahead and put everything back in. Definitely the last time. I'm sorry guys. I know it's frustrating, me pausing it and everything. Alright. Make sure your ribbon is on the inside and not the outside, or else you will not be able to pull it up and put it into your controller after you get the pieces in. Alright. Alright, slide the ribbon back in there. These ribbons are tricky, guys, but go ahead and slide your ribbon back in right there, and now the button actually clicks the touchpad. I probably should have checked that before I put everything back on. Then get your battery holder, put that on. Get your controller pack. Let me make sure I'm getting the right one. Okay, yeah, get your controller pack. Put the ribbon in for that. And then get your battery pack. Plug that in. Sit it there. Your battery holder. And Oh, please tell me I got all the buttons in. Yes. Woo. Thought I forgot to put some buttons in. Alright, now go ahead and click everything together. And then boom, buttons work. Touchpad clicks. Both side buttons click. All the buttons work. Alright. And now, oh look, it's on. It's on. And it says it got a full battery. Hear that? Everything works. Matter of fact, I can show you. See, it's on and everything, and it has a full battery over there. I can't really tell if you can see that or not, but it has a full battery. All the buttons are working just fine. And that is how you take your parts out of your old messed up controller and go ahead and put it in. See, this controller wasn't working when we first started, so it's all good. And then go ahead and put your screws in there. See, there was a lot of unnecessary things on this controller. I melted off like 3 things that was on the assembly. Melted off like 3 different things on there. If any of you have a problem doing this, just let me know. It's not really an easy process. It'll be way easier if you have like the same exact assembly that you had in the controller that you wanted to use versus the one that was messed up. In my case, this controller and this one, which is the one that don't work, in my case, that whole assembly was different from this one, but as you can see, it works. Yup, all the buttons, it all works. Nice. Right on. Alright, so that's it for this video. There's your finished product, and there's your product right there that is all beat up and old and don't work. Alright guys, have a good one.